So good morning, everyone, and let's continue the data structure stack that we were discussing earlier. So in the previous session, we started stack. We discussed what is stack and how it behaves, last in, first out, and few physical examples of stack like a stack of pebble or donuts or books or something. If you want to know where are the or the other places where stacks can be used, then you can have a look at the undo and redo functionality. That's nothing but a stack application of stack, because when you undo, it is going to undo the last operation you have done, right? जो last में किया है वही undo होगा. दूसरी बार अंडू करोगे तो सेकंड लास्ट जो हुआ था वो अंडू होगा, एंड सो ऑन. सो इट इज गोइंग फॉर द एग्जैक्ट बैकवर्ड पाथ, एंड दैट्स व्हाट लास्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट. एंड सिमिलरली रीडू, अगर आपने अंडू किया है तो रीडू एनेबल हो जाएगा, एंड दैट्स अनदर स्टैक, अ सेपरेट स्टैक. सो there are going to be two different stacks implemented in those softwares which provides you undo and redo functionality. Another one in the browser, back and forth. Google सर्च करो, एक वेबसाइट में जाओ, बैक करोगे तो आप वापस कहाँ पे आओगे? Google सर्च पेज पे, and so on. So back and forth functionality in the browser, it also uses stack, and plenty of other examples you can think of. Well, we are not going to implement those one, but we do have two different applications of stack here in the semester or the syllabus: conversion of infix to postfix and tower of Hanoi. That we will see. So let's continue with the stack. We in the previous session we discussed what is stack, how we can implement stack. So to store your data, maybe if you are using array, then you need array, and to remember the topmost place, you need one more top variable. Combinedly, those two are going to give you the stack. So we create a structure. If you want to define data type, then we go for type def statement in a program, right? After that, we started looking at few operations, because stack has a fixed behavior. How we achieve that behavior. So for that, we have a set of operations. We looked at init operation. It's nothing but initializing your top with -1. In terms of algorithm, you can say initialize your top with null, right? Then we looked at push operation, where we are going to increase top and then we store value. We have also seen push algorithm. After that, we looked at pop operation, which is just reverse or the opposite of push, which is going to take value first from the top, and then it will decrease your top variable. And we have seen algorithm for pop also. And the last operation that we see in the previous session was pip. Now there is a very minor difference in pop and pip. Pop is going to delete that value, topmost value, whereas pip will not delete it, it will simply return that value. So when you remove top minus minus, it becomes pip. So this is what we have seen till now, right? And let's continue discussion for other operations. So the next one that we want to have a look at here is the change operation. What if we want to change some value? We want to change existing value. Okay. Well, very rarely you will need this one, but let's say if in case you require to change existing value within a stack, then how it can be done? Let's take a scenario. We have a stack, okay, and we do have few values inside. So let's say this is what the values we have already inserted in our stack. So this is going to be your data array with indexes, and your top will be 3 because that's where your topmost value is. Now this is your current status of the stack, and let's say we want to change, okay, we want to change a value and we want to insert a new value which is going to be, let's say, 8. I want to insert 8 in this existing stack. Now we are not going to say replace 3 with 8 because there might be more than 3 available, more than 1 3s available inside your stack. एक से ज़्यादा वैल्यू, कॉमन वैल्यू स्टैक के अंदर हो सकती है. Then there will be ambiguity कि भाई कौन सा occurrence में replace करूं. If I do have a stack like 5, 3, 2 and again 3, then which 3 am I going to replace? It is problematic, it is ambiguous. So that's the reason when we go for change, हम क्या करेंगे? We will ask user position. Okay, we ask user, give us a position where you want to insert a new value. So maybe user will say, okay, on position 3, you insert 8. So this is your position and this is your new value, nval. Now that's how we ask user to provide 2 different values here. User will give you the position. Now position is always fixed. There is no ambiguity. And new value is already given, so you can insert that new value. But end user is not aware that you have implemented this stack using array or linked list or what. Even end user is not aware that indexes are started from 0. End user is not aware that position 3 is from where? From bottom or from top? Right? So the internal structure that we are using here is not disclosed to the end user. So end user के लिए क्या है? Whatever stack you have prepared here, for end user it is simply something like this one. This is how end user will visualize your stack. Top value is 1, bottom value is 5. And what end user will do? End user is going to calculate positions from top. These are the positions which any user will calculate, because positions are always starts from 1. Position 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. And the topmost position is the first position because that's where we operate anything. So this is what the position is. But now if we think about indexes, then index is something like this one. Right? Let me have it side by so you can see that clearly. So those are the indexes. Now what end user wants now is this place. Position 3. User has given you the position 3, and at that place if you want to replace your value, then you need index 1. Because inside array we always access elements using indexes. So position 3 को index 1 में convert करना पड़ेगा. Somehow we need to calculate index based on position. User जो position बोलेगा उसके हिसाब से हमें कुछ index calculate करनी होगी. So we need to calculate index. Fill in the blank. Give me mathematical equation which will convert given position to the proper index. What do you think? How do you convert given position to the index? Yes? Okay, one solution we have, max minus position. Well, max is the maximum size, which is 5. Okay, minus position is 3, then answer will be 2. That's not possible then. Maximum position or index? Both are different things. So you have to decide maximum what? Maximum position or maximum index? Online students can post their possible solutions in the chat box. Maximum index. Can I call it top? Okay. So now you are saying top minus position. So top is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Well, we are very near to the correct solution. Yes? Top minus max. Stack size is max. So what do you propose? No, what will be the equation? Stored. So it can be represented with top. Top plus 1. Then it is max. It is max. Okay. It is max. Then minus POS. Max size is not 4, it is 5. Size of array is 5 here. I've taken size to be 5. Max is 5. If you want maximum possible index, then it will be max minus 1. Top. Okay. So top minus pose plus 1 is 1. Now why plus 1? Index starts with 0, position starts with 1. So there is a difference of 1 in between. पोजीशन हम 1 से स्टार्ट करते हैं, लेकिन इंडेक्स 0 से स्टार्ट होता है. अगर टॉप में से मैं पोजीशन सब्ट्रैक्ट करता हूं, राइट, सो टॉप इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 0. जो 1 से होना चाहिए वो 0 से हो रहा था. So we add plus 1 here. Now this will work. Definitely this is the correct solution. So what equation we found? From your top, you subtract your position, given position, and then you add 1 to it. Now this gives you, this gives you the index, calculated index. Now here we rely on the given position. Position is given by user. We never trust user. User तो कुछ भी दे सकता है. Do we blindly follow it? No. We have to handle all the error, all possible errors. What if user has given you position 6 here in the current status? Top is 3. 3 minus 6 is minus 3. Plus 1 minus 2. So calculated index will be what? Minus 2, which is not possible. Correct? What if by mistake user has entered minus 2 as a position? He was about to enter 2, but somehow minus p type हो गया कहीं से. by mistake, then again calculated index will be not the proper one. Simply what we can say is the whatever index we calculate, that must be within the range of this thing, 0 to top. 0 से लेके टॉप के बीच में ही रहना चाहिए वो जो भी इंडेक्स आप कैलकुलेट करते हो, that must be within this range. Only then you can say it's a valid index and we will update the given value. Otherwise, we can print a message to user, given position is not a valid position. Simple. अगर इंडेक्स जो आप कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो वो वैलिड नहीं है, उसका एक ही रीजन हो सकता है कि पोजीशन वैलिड नहीं है, तो यूजर को आप एक मैसेज दे दो, गिवन पोजीशन इज नॉट वैलिड एंड यू कैन ट्राई अगेन. सो दीज टू आर द मेजर पॉइंट्स. नाउ इफ योर स्टैक इज ऑलरेडी एम्प्टी, एक एडिशनल कंडीशन भी लिख सकते हो. अगर स्टैक एम्प्टी है तो रिप्लेस करने के लिए कुछ है ही नहीं अंदर. अंडरफ्लो कंडीशन भी लिख सकते हो. Then you can calculate index. After you have that index, you validate that index within this range, and if it is proper, you update your data, which will be simply data of calculated index. Okay, calculated index will have a new value. Simple. So these three steps are major in change operation. Let's have a look at the algorithm for change. First of all, we may go for underflow condition. So if your top is null, program के लिए आपका top अगर -1 है तो आप बोलोगे stack underflow and you return. If you do have something in your stack, then you will calculate index top minus pose plus 1. Then you will validate that calculated index. It must be within the range of 0 to top. If it is, then you update the value. Data of calculated index is equals to VAL, new value. Else, you print a message, invalid position, and finally you return. So that's gonna be your change operation. Yes? We are not inserting or we are not removing anything. So still it is last in, first out. We only replace something. So if there is a need, I already told you, very rarely you require change operation, but if in case there is a need, you may use this, right? Maybe your current process is going on and in between that process someone comes and says, oh, plus operator जो है उसको मैं डॉलर से इंडिकेट करूंगा, but then I need to replace plus sign with dollar. This is just a scenario or the example where you need change operation, right? या तो फिर मान लो कि एक एक करके आपके पास कुछ इनपुट आ रहा है नंबर, and you are storing those numbers inside stack because you want to remember that order. This process is continuing and जो पहले नंबर दे के गया था आदमी वो वापस आएगा, अरे यार भूल गया वो 5 नहीं 6 था. Then you need to replace that 5 into 6. So in case if there is a need, you can operate change, but still we are not removing or we are not inserting new data. Still your stack is last in, first out. Any more questions? Okay. Now we haven't seen display operation yet, right? Let us see how display operation looks. It's very simple. एक loop चलाना होगा, and that's why I don't have that algorithm in the slide, but let me show you. If we have a stack and if we have few values inside, so this is your data array and your top will be 3, and we want to display this stack. We have already discussed भाई यूजर के लिए stack कैसा आना चाहिए. This is how user will see that stack. Now when we start printing something on the console screen, then we go from left to right and top to bottom. That's the flow, normal flow. So सबसे पहले आप stack print करोगे. So okay, for display operation, I want to display this stack. So for display operation, first and foremost thing will be print stack contains message, and after that let's go for a new line. So that stack contains is this one, and then new line. So we go to a new line, and after that we want to print our data. So what we want is we want to print integer value. Every value will be printed on a new line, so %d/n, and this %d will have value from where? From your data array, and we are about to print that entire array. So let's take a loop control variable I and write a loop here. I equals to something, I less than greater than something, I plus plus, I minus minus. We'll decide it. So the loop is going to print all these values. It is going to print all these values. Now we started printing from where? कहाँ से start किया? Top. And we end up at 0. So we want to start this loop from I equals to s points to top. Top से start करेंगे, and if your I is greater equals to 0, then we will continue this loop. So top is some greater value, we go up to 0. So this is backward loop, minus minus. Now that's going to be your loop to print your entire stack. Now if you have something inside your stack, then you perform this thing. अगर आपके stack के अंदर कुछ है तो ही आप ये करोगे ना. What if I don't have anything inside my stack? So if s points to top is already -1, then printf stack is empty message. Else you do this entire process, and that's going to be your entire display. Fine. So very simple. What you do, step number 1, check for emptiness. If top is null, now I'm talking about algorithm. So if step number 1, if top is null, print stack is empty, return. Now step number 2, repeat step, because we have a for loop here. So we are going to repeat number of steps. So repeat step 3 until you reach at bottom of the stack. Now step number 3 में आप क्या करोगे? Print current element of the stack, and done. Now, how do you decide current element? तो उसके लिए आप ये कर सकते हो, step number 1, initialize ITR, iteration with top. तो फिर आपका repeat statement कुछ हो जाएगा, repeat step number 3 until your ITR is, till your ITR is greater than 0. And you are going to print data of ITR and ITR minus minus. So those are the algorithms. You have learned those algorithms earlier. So you can write those algorithms based on this. Look, this is called pseudocode. अगर इस तरह से आप लिखते हो तो आप इसको pseudocode भी बोल सकते हो. When you have been asked to write algorithm, you can write pseudocode. No one is going to cut your marks. But if you have been asked to write C program or C function, then you have to write proper C language syntax. Okay, यहाँ पे मैं print लिखता हूँ. That's why I'm saying it is pseudocode. अगर आपको फंक्शन पूछा है तो ये कंपल्सरीली आपको प्रिंट एफ लिखना पड़ेगा. दैट्स द प्रॉपर सिंटैक्स फंक्शन ऑफ सी. नाउ दैट्स वेरी माइनर डिफरेंस. You can have a look at here. Okay. Now, any questions? Well, you can print it, but generally, if this is the sequence of your number, where is your top? In general, where is your top? This is what my top is. When I look at a list, I simply say whatever is on the top will be the top, right? That's why we started from top. If you print it in a reverse order, then your output will be something like this: 5, 3, 2, and 1. And that will misguide your end user. End user ये समझेगा कि top में 5 है. That's the reason we go for this loop. Any other question? Well, if there is no question, then actually we are done with all possible operations on stack. We have decided we are going to implement stack using array. So we have taken one array, one extra variable top, combine it together, create a structure. Along with that structure, you define few operations: init, push, pop, pip, change, display. You can also have two more operations: is empty, is full. We just want to have a yes or no answer. Is my stack empty? Yes or no? Is my stack full? Yes or no? So you can have two more operations like that. All these are the operations which can be performed on the stack, and no one can directly access your array. You have to go through these functions, these operations only. That's your stack. Right? Few basic examples we have seen: undo, redo, back and forth. Undo, redo. Whenever you make any change in your document, it is going to be recorded in undo stack. जो भी चेंज आप अपने डॉक्यूमेंट में करोगे वो चेंज स्टैक के अंदर स्टोर हो जाएगा. दैट्स द रीजन व्हेन यू अनडू वो स्टैक से वापस आएगा एंड ओरिजिनल डॉक्यूमेंट विल बी देयर. बट व्हेन यू अनडू तो जो स्टैक से निकालते हो उसको रीडू के स्टैक में भी डालो, तभी तो आप रीडू कर पाओगे. सो दैट्स द फ्लो ऑफ प्रोसेस. Okay. Well, next step is implement stack. Now, when we talk about implementing stack in a C program, what we do is we will go for stack as an abstract data type. So type def करेंगे because we want data type there. Now we define it as an abstract. End user को पता नहीं चलना चाहिए कि अंदर क्या हो रहा है. आप जब printf यूज करते हो आपको पता है वो कैसे इंप्लीमेंट हुआ? कभी फाइल खोल के देखा भी नहीं. stdio.h खोला है कभी? नहीं. Right? When we use scanf, we never see how it is operating the entire process. So that's what we want to do here. जब मेरा end user stack use करेगा तो वो सिर्फ push pop peek change function call कर दे, उसको नहीं पता होना चाहिए अंदर क्या है. We are going to define one stack.h file. हम अपना एक header file बना लेंगे. Now it can be C file also. Just आप आसानी से समझ सको इसलिए मैं उसको header file बोलता हूँ. So we are going to create stack.h file, header file. अगर आपने वो header file अच्छे से बना दिया, then you can publish that header file and anyone can use it. जैसे आप यूज करते हो stdio.h, file.h, string.h, stdlib.h, conio.h अगर turbo C है तो. Similarly, there is one more header file, stack.h. You include your header file and start using it. Now that header file is going to contain everything. Stack as a data type definition and all its required operations. Push, pop, peep, init, change, display, is empty, is full. All those functions are going to be defined in that header file. Okay? Now, तो फिर हम जब उसको इंक्लूड करेंगे, व्हेन वी इंक्लूड stack.h फाइल, तो वो मेरी C फाइल है, उसमें मैं क्या लिखूं? जहां से मैं सिंपल पुश कॉल कर सकता हूं, पॉप कॉल कर सकता हूं, डिस्प्ले फंक्शन को कॉल कर सकता हूं. Now we implement a program and we test whether that stack is working properly or not. अगर आपने एक हेडर फाइल बनाया है तो आप उसको टेस्ट करोगे. So there will be one C file. एक C फाइल बनेगा जहां पे आपका int main रहेगा. You are going to declare a variable for your stack and then you are going to call those functions. Init call karoge, push call karoge, and so. Well, if we call those functions, then there are multiple possibilities, right? There are number of possibilities. 5 बार push करके 1 बार pop करो, 3 बार push करके 2 बार pop करो. Those are different scenarios. और हर एक अलग अलग सिनारियो में आपको टेस्ट करना है कि आपका स्टैक प्रॉपर वर्क करेगा या नहीं. तो आप क्या करोगे? हर बार कोड चेंज करके रन करोगे? जब प्रोग्राम रन होगा तो वैल्यूज सेव होगी, जब प्रोग्राम टर्मिनेट हो गया तो वैल्यूज आर गॉन. दूसरी बार रन करोगे तो फिर से वैल्यू डालनी पड़ेगी. So that's not proper way to test, or that's not proper way to demonstrate also. We are going to create a demonstration file here. It is nothing but a menu driven program. It is nothing but a menu driven program. We are going to create a menu and we will ask user, what do you want to perform? User जो बोलेगा वो करके देंगे. And that program will run infinitely जब तक यूजर नहीं बोलता कि I am done. So your program should run infinitely until and unless user says I am done. Your program will not terminate. And that kind of program we are going to create now. Okay. So let me show you the just a minute. I need to create one folder first. And then we directly jump to coding environment and I'll show you how you can start it. Okay. So here is my VS Code. I'm using VS Code as an editor. Okay, you can use any of the editors that you are comfortable with. As you all know, you can use Turbo C. If you are using Windows 7, 8, 10, 11, any operating system, you need DOSBox or emulator to run Turbo C. You can write your C code in maybe Code Block or Eclipse, right? Or in VS Code, or you can use any online compiler. You can also use mobile applications. It is available. So you may also use few mobile applications where inside your Android phone, you can write your C code and execute it. Everything will work. But here, let's say I'm using VS Code and native GCC compiler here. Okay. Well, so what we are going to do now is we actually want to create a new file and we want to create stack. Okay. Now that's just a stack.c file. Editor will have a larger text. It's okay. So this is nothing but stack demo, where I want to go for menu-driven code. Now we always start with hash include stdio.h. Sorry. Okay, and int main. Inside that main, whatever operation we want to do here, we can. Now, first of all, we want to print menu. Now, it's nothing but just like you go to restaurant and you order your food. Restaurant में जाते हैं तो सबसे पहले एक menu उठाएंगे. We will have a look at all those items. Well, okay, let's have a look at all the possible operations of stack. Stack operations, and then I'm going to have a list of stack operations here. Yes? Definitely we are going to use switch case, but right now I'm simply printing my menu. वेटर आपको एक मेनू पकड़ा के जाएगा. अभी तक आपने कोई चॉइस नहीं बोली. So choice number 1, let's say push operation and then new line. Choice number 2, maybe second item from the menu, pop and a new line. Then third item, push pop pip and a new line. Fourth one, change, right? Fifth one, display. Sixth one is empty. Seventh is full. Eighth one, भाई पेट भर गया, कितना खिलाओगे? राइट? कितना ऑर्डर करूं अब? आई एम डन. बिल दो, पे करूं और जाता हूं वापस घर पे. So exit. Now this is just a menu. What waiter will do? Waiter will come to you and he'll ask, "Sir, what is your order?" Please enter your choice. And if you're asking user to enter some choice, you have to scan it. Scanf %d ampersand, let me call it ch choice. And if it is a variable, then let's have one integer variable ch, where user is simply going to give you the number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 whatever. Once you have that choice based execution, okay, switch case, your expression is ch variable and number of cases are going to be 1 2 3 4 and so on. And then you may also have a default case. अगर by mistake user 1 to 8 जो possible values हैं उसके अलावा कुछ देता है, then we go for a default case. Default case break लिखो ना लिखो कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता अगर आपने default case last में लिखा है. But here we are going to print a message. Please enter valid choice. Right, that's your default case. And case 1 is for what? Push operation. So from this place, you are going to call a push function. Banana baki hai, we'll do it. But we are going to call a push function where I'm going to pass my stack S and I'm going to pass a value. Given stack, insert a given value. This is what we want to perform, but we haven't implemented stack yet. Fine, let me comment it out for now. But this is how you can create your entire menu driven program. Now when you run this, एक बार run होगा, बार बार अगर run करना है, then loop. We need iterative process. So कितना रन करोगे बार बार? एक डिश खा लिया रेस्टोरेंट में, अभी भी भूख लगी है तो वेटर के पास से फिर मेन्यू मांगोगे. Give me the menu. I'm gonna order another dish. So this is what we are going to repeat. While, and inside that while, we are going to start from this menu and we'll go up to the switch case. Cut and paste it inside your while. Okay? So now while, okay, what should be the condition of while loop? We are going to run this loop infinitely. While 1, non-zero value is always true. So 1 is true. While true, infinite हो गया. When we will terminate this process, अगर infinite है तो कहीं ना कहीं तो terminate करना होगा. Now we do have that option here in the menu. हाँ, generate bill जैसा कोई item नहीं होता restaurant में, but we have that. So what we do is we create a case 8, and inside that case we simply exit our entire program. Exit 0. 0 is the status, nothing. So exit function in a C is going to terminate your program. पूरा program बंद हो जाएगा. Now for to use exit operation, you need stdlib.h file here. Okay. So now we are ready with menu driven program. बाकी के केस आप बना लोगे. इतना तो मैं विश्वास रख सकता हूं आप पे. I believe that you have understood this thing and you are capable of writing remaining cases. Now this is what a basic skeleton of menu driven program. then your menu driven program can be of stack, can be of queue, can be of linked list, can be of tree, anything. रेस्टोरेंट बदलेगा तो मेनू बदलेगा, मेनू तो होगा ही, तो उसके अंदर आइटम्स बदल जाएगी, मेनू आइटम्स चेंज हो जाएगी. सो अगर आप क्यू के लिए मेनू ड्रिवन प्रोग्राम बनाते हो, देन द मेनू आइटम्स इंस्टेड ऑफ पुश पॉप पीप चेंज डिस्प्ले, you will have few other items like insert delete pick change display. अगर मेनू ड्रिवन प्रोग्राम आप लिंक लिस्ट के लिए बनाते हो तो मेनू आइटम्स हो जाएगी 1 for insert first, 2 for insert last, 3 for insert at given position, 4 insert before, 5 insert after. 5 insert ऑपरेशन. अच्छा, delete first, delete last, delete before, delete after, delete at position, delete first occurrence, delete all occurrence. सर्च तो रह गया, 1 सर्च. डिस्प्ले रह गया, 1 डिस्प्ले. बड़ा सा रेस्टोरेंट है, मेनू भी बड़ा है. वेल, but the skeleton will be the same. You have number of operations, then you will have a switch case, and all these things will be inside while 1. तो ये skeleton fix हो गया. You are going to use this kind of skeleton or this kind of a program for all the practicals starting from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 10 or 11 from your practical list. You'll do this thing. Okay, now fine. ये रेस्टोरेंट का मेनू आ गया, वेटर हमारे पास से ऑर्डर भी लेके गया, शेफ कहाँ है? किचन बनाओ, शेफ को बुलाओ. Let's go and create a new file here. That's gonna be stack.h file, या फिर एक अलग फाइल जो ये पूरा रेसिपी बना के देगा. तो जो रेस्टोरेंट का वेटर है, ओके, that waiter is going to use that kitchen. Include stack.h, right? Now let's focus on that header file here. At this place, actually you are going to implement stack. Implementation के लिए सबसे पहला हमें एक स्ट्रक्चर लेना होगा जिसके 2 मेंबर्स डेटा एंड टॉप. So we are going to have a structure stack which will have 2 members, data array and integer top. Now array must be of some fixed size. Let us have a defined constant here, max, and I'm going to define it before this statement. So has define max, let it be 5. Now I also want कि भाई जब एंड यूजर को कोई वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर करना हो तो वो कुछ इस तरह से नहीं लिखेगा. Struct stack s, this is how you declare a variable, right? But I don't want to disclose कि भाई मैंने स्ट्रक्चर लिया है, क्योंकि अगर इस तरह से वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर करना होगा तो यूजर को पता चल जाएगा कि हाँ इंटरनली कहीं ना कहीं तो स्ट्रक्चर है. I want everything to be abstract. तो मैं ये बोलूंगा कि यूजर जो है वो कुछ इस तरह से वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर करे. int I, stack s. Now integer, int, float, character, double, those are primitive data types, inbuilt data types. Now there are few non-primitive data types also which we can use. Now this stack it is obviously non-primitive data type. Struct stack is a non-primitive data type, but I'm going to give it a new name. I'm going to define my own data type using type def. So what we will do now here is we are going to have type def keyword. Then I'm going to define a structure. I'll not label it. उसको label देने की जरूरत नहीं है. So type def, then you define your structure, and at the end आप उस structure को नया नाम दो, and done. So this is how you define your new data type. इस तरह से आप नया डेटा टाइप बना सकते हो. अगर आपने ये डेटा टाइप डिफाइन किया है तो सी फाइल के अंदर यूजर जो है वो आसानी से एक वेरिएबल दे पाएगा stack s, and this will only work when you include that file, क्योंकि उसकी डेफिनेशन कहाँ पे है, हमने जो फाइल बनाई उसके अंदर. So now user can easily declare a variable and user can start using this variable. This is a stack. लेकिन स्टैक के लिए ऑपरेशंस चाहिए. जब भी आप नया स्टैक लेते हो तो सबसे पहले आपको क्या करना है, you should initialize your stack. Okay, initialize एक ही बार करना है. सो बिफोर वाइल, विद इन वाइल आप कोई भी ऑपरेशन कॉल कर लो फ्रॉम योर स्विच केस. So now we have to define init, push, pop, peek, all those operations in stack.h. यहां से कॉल होगा, वहां पे डिफाइन होगा. यहां से ऑर्डर की डिस किचन के अंदर वो बनी. So this is where your user is going to call those functions, and this is where we are going to define those functions. Init, push, pop, pip, change, display is empty and is full. We will define all these functions here. यहाँ पे हम वो सारे functions को define करेंगे. Look, when I say define, function header and function body दोनों चीजें आ जाएगी. When you write your function header, it will contain few parameters. सब कुछ यहाँ पे आएगा अब one by one. We'll stop here for now, and today we have one more lecture, so I assume that we will complete this stack implementation by that lecture also. Thank you everyone. Before you leave, one announcement for online students. Make sure you use institute email ID to attend these sessions, because online students, your attendance is being taken automatically from the attendee list email ID. Thank you everyone.